Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for another practice today. I'm going to guide you through my favorite yin and yang, the fusion of the yin and the yang, finding balance between. We'll begin the practice seated, so let's come and find your Sukhasana or easy pose. Just get nice and comfortable. If you need sitting up on a cushion or a block, make sure your hips are higher than your knees. And just allow your palms to land onto your thighs or your knees, wherever they land, and gently float the eyes shut. So begin by focusing in on your breath. Just noticing if your breath is long or short, deep or shallow. Are you breathing into the belly? Or do you feel the expansion and the contraction in your chest? Straight away, without judgment, just simply notice what is. Bringing your awareness to the thoughts in your mind, and maybe you can just take a note here, the quality of your thoughts. And now dropping into the heart center. Just start to connect with how you're feeling in this moment. Again, without attachment, without judgment. It just simply is, whatever it is. And then let's bring the palms into the heart center in prayer or Anjali Mudra, slightly tucking the chin towards your chest and placing the backs of the thumbs against your sternum. Shoulders relaxed, elbows slightly elevated and away from your body. Spine is nice and straight, rooted down through your seat. And just start to breathe into your heart center now. And connecting into any intention that resonates with you in this moment. An intention or affirmation, just repeating that several times silently to yourself. And then let's take a deep breath in through the nose. And parting the lips, exhale, release the breath, release the intention. And when you're ready to, just gently blink the eyes open, coming back to the room. And let's begin in Child's Pose. So we'll start the practice with the yin part of the segment. Just coming onto your knees, sitting back onto your heels. For some of you, it may be more comfortable to have the knees wider. If the forehead doesn't come down to the ground, then you can use that option. Or the other option as well is to use a block and bring the forehead onto the block. I'll leave it up to you here. If you feel, let's take the palms forward. Or maybe if it's comfortable for you, just releasing the arms down by your sides. Rest the forehead onto the mat or the block. And here, I just want you to start to relax into your body, into the pose. Staying aware of your breath, breathing in, breathing out. Just begin to connect in with your breath and into your body. With each exhalation, allow your body to become heavier, allowing it to sink into the ground, softening any tension you're holding, and allowing your breath to expand into the areas of your body that feel tender or tight. As you breathe, just notice the breath expanding and contracting, your belly rising and falling. Allow your shoulders to soften. Just observing all that is occurring in this moment. And as the time passes, notice how the sensations may be intensifying. Maybe they're easing, or maybe they're staying the same. Just moving away from your thinking mind, just allow yourself to just feel. You don't need to analyze anything. Give your mind a rest. Just feeling, breathing, and being present in this moment. Just a few more breaths. And then placing the palms underneath the shoulders. Let's just lift ourselves up and then come onto all fours. So extend the legs out in front of you, and then we'll come to lie down onto our bellies. So just extending those legs, and maybe if it feels good to you, you can just fold the arms and place the forehead or one side of the face. And just relax here, releasing the previous pose. Observe the sensations in your body. Notice the movement of energy in your legs. Like a wave moving through you. Notice when you go into the mind and start to trail off. When you do that, just bring your awareness back to your breath, back to the sensations in your body. And let's move into our next pose. Let's come into a deer pose. So you're going to find your way up to a seat, and then from here, grab either a block, a bolster, or some cushions. And we'll go with the right side first. So you're going to sit like so. Your legs are zigzagged, knees both going the same way. And then from here, you're going to position either a bolster or a block or a cushion, whatever feels comfortable for you. I personally love working with the bolster with the yin poses. It's very supportive. The cushions I find can sink, so it's always nice to just have the bolster. And so from here, again, just listen to your body. You may just placing the palms and leaning forward over the right knee like so, it may be already enough for you. In which case you can place the blocks and just allow your head to relax so you can place your forehead onto the block. If you have a little bit more space to move forward, you can drop the elbows down and maybe just the forehead comes onto the block or the bolster. So wherever you are, remember that this practice has no alignment. There are very few rules when it comes to yin. The only thing that we want here, it doesn't matter how you look, if your version of the deer pose looks very different to mine, that's perfect for you, as long as you're feeling something. As you start to lean over the right knee, maybe you're feeling that compression in the hip. Just notice what you're feeling, the sensations in your body. Now, if you're not feeling anything, you're not doing anything. That's the nature of yin. As soon as you're beginning to feel something, then the work is happening. And your job is simply to remain still and observe. Beginning to connect with those sensations in the body, focusing your awareness on what feels most intense. Now, our natural instinct is to move away from what feels intense or uncomfortable. I'm asking you now to lean into the discomfort. As you lean in, and your mind starts to tell you all these sorts of things like, this isn't comfortable, you need to move out of this is a waste of time, whatever thoughts that are going through your head, especially if they're negative, can you shift them into positive thoughts? Maybe you can just say to yourself, the discomfort is teaching you. You are expanding and learning through what you might perceive as pain. Maybe you can remind yourself that it is in situations where we find ourselves uncomfortable that we grow the most. And just starting to change the perspective to the sensations you're experiencing. So maybe now you're starting to feel tingling sensations in your feet, in your legs, as we stimulate the liver and the gallbladder meridians. Just a few more breaths here. Notice what emotions are arising for you. Do you feel balanced, in faith and love? Or is this pose evoking emotions such as anger, frustration, feeling irritable, or maybe even depressed? Just notice whatever you're experiencing is good. If you want to take it deeper from here, if you have the space, then you can come all the way down to the ground. Just for the last few breaths, or maybe fold the arms, make a pillow, whatever feels good for you. Just for the last few breaths, lean into your maximum point, your ultimate edge. And then gently now, release the pose. Move very mindfully and slowly. First, begin by lifting yourself up, and then let's just walk the hands towards your feet, and then supporting yourself as necessary, we'll just extend the legs and come to lay onto our backs. To release that pose, come and find your rebound in Shavasana. So as you find stillness again, what do you feel in your body? And then slowly, when you're ready to, bending into the knees, maybe rolling onto one side. Let's lift ourselves up and we'll take it over the other side. So now knees coming towards the left side, legs zigzagging, and then we'll take either the blocks or the cushions, whatever worked for you on the other side, do exactly the same on this side. So maybe just beginning by placing the palms and placing the forehead. If it's comfortable for you and you want to take it deeper, just remember that you don't need to go to your maximum point right at the beginning of the pose, because you've got plenty of time to take it deeper as the time passes. And you'll also find that as the time passes, your body starts to open up a little bit more and it becomes much easier to come deeper. So just come to your first edge and only move when your body invites you to. And this is a deeply intuitive practice. I can't know what's going on for you, what you're experiencing, what you're feeling. Only you can know that. So you become your own teacher. Connect into your own inner wisdom. And again, softening into your body with each breath, leaning into that discomfort, focusing your awareness in on what feels most intense for you in this moment. Can you keep your awareness there without running away, without feeling as though you need to escape the pose. No matter how uncomfortable it gets, can you remain calm and still? So in a way here, the yin postures are teaching us how to be in moments of discomfort in your everyday life. There's many moments that we go through that we don't necessarily prefer or want, and it feels uncomfortable and it doesn't necessarily feel good. Do you just run away, or can you remain grounded, stay connected to your breath, and know that this too shall pass? Couple more breaths here. If you want to take it to your deepest point, now's the chance. What else is in your body that needs releasing? What else are you holding on to? Just let that go now. Physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Good. So now we're going to come all the way up and come and find your rebound pose again. Let's come back down onto the mat in Shavasana, extending both legs, and just let that energy flow through your body. Now you feel really supported, really connected to Earth, to Mother Earth, supporting and holding you. Let's find our way back up onto our hands and knees. So take your time, move mindfully. Your body is now soft and open. Let's just find the tabletop position in on our hands and knees. So palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And we'll just start to bring a little bit of movement. So just start to circle the hips. Imagine you're drawing a big circle through your navel on your mat. And maybe you can start to regulate the breath here. As you inhale, you can come forward, and as you exhale, bringing the buttocks back towards the heels. Inhale over the wrists, exhale back to the heels. Let's take the circle the other way. Inhale, coming forward. Notice any clicks, any releasing. Inhale forward and exhale back towards the heels. Nice big circles. Awareness fully in your body now. Just observe each sensation. Can you just be present in this moment? No judgment. Nothing to analyze, think about. You're just here experiencing all these sensations in your body. And as you exhale, let's come back into that child's pose. Just for a moment, place the forehead onto the mat. Squeeze in the pelvic floor, so activating Mula Bandha. Drawing in the lower abdominals, activating Uddiyana Bandha.
slightly constricting the back of your throat, start to cultivate your ujjayi breath, ocean breath, breathing in and out through the nose, with the core engaged, with the pelvic floor lifting, guiding that breath in and out through the nose, through the back of the throat. Maybe you can count the breaths. Ensure the breath is at least to a count of 4. Maybe some of you can take it to 5 or 6. The breath in and the breath out are equal lengths. So you can really think about Darth Vader, that really heavy breathing. That's the ujjayi breath. It's boiling your blood from within, so creating energy. And as you engage the bandhas, you're not allowing that energy to leave your body. So it's self-circulating. As you inhale, let's take and come up onto your hands and knees, tuck the toes and lift yourself up into that first downward facing dog. So feet hip width apart, palms shoulder width apart, drawing in the belly, the space underneath the navel, sucking in towards the spine. Head is nice and relaxed. Feet, if your heels are quite high, that's fine. Just make sure that you are balanced in between the palms, so your weight isn't over onto the palms, your weight isn't over onto the backs of the heels, but it's nice and balanced. If you need, you can keep those knees bent. If you have the space, extend the legs and sink the heels to the ground. Good. Next inhale, let's walk the hands back towards your toes, and so you'll find yourself in a forward fold here. If you need, keep the knees bent. We want to keep that connection between the ribs, the lower ribs or the belly, and the thighs. Some of us need that extra space, so when we're doing the forward folds, try to remember that we're pretty much every pose with yoga is about extending the spine. We want to create that space in between the vertebrae. So if your legs are completely straight and your back is bent like so, then we're not really getting the benefits of the pose. So you can go ahead and bend the knees and then allow the spine to fall down towards the ground. Let's take opposite elbows here and then just start to swing from side to side, bending into the knees accordingly. Let's try to stay firmly rooted through the soles of your feet. Keep the head relaxed, the back of the neck, so ragdoll. And then placing the palms again, let's walk back towards the top of the mat, gaze to the fingers now, and then we'll step our feet coming to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Inhale, palms come onto the shins, gaze forward, straighten the spine, straighten the backs of the legs. Again, another opportunity to pull in that core, lift the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha activates. This time feet together if you can. If that's not possible for you, keep them hip width apart. Exhale, release the head. From here, firmly rooted, start to activate all those muscles in your legs. Pressing the floor away, deep inhale, let's come all the way up to stand. Take the arms out to the sides and take them up overhead, gazing to the fingers. Then exhale, palms come down by your sides, relax the shoulders, come and find a mountain pose. Breathe. Then inhale again. Let's raise those palms up towards the skies. Turn the gaze to look at the thumbs. Before you exhale, wave the arms down towards the ground, bowing forward. Find your Uttanasana or forward fold. And then press up into that halfway lift. Gaze up, breathing in. Then exhale, place the palms, step the right foot back. And then the left foot, find your plank pose. So heels pressing away from you, shoulders directly over the wrists. Core still engaged, and then exhale, let's drop the knees. Same exhale, bend the elbows, lower the chin and the chest, untuck the toes. Then inhale to Cobra, low Cobra, elbows hugging in towards you. Exhale, forehead to the mat. Let's do that again. Press down through the big toe mounds. Inhale, lift, and exhale, back to the ground. One more time. This time, maybe let's see if we can hover our fingertips off the mat and exhale down. Tuck the toes again. Inhale, press the floor away, shift the buttocks all the way back to the heels. Exhaling here. Inhale, keep the chin close to the chest. Let's come through a cat stretch. So rounding the spine, and then exhale, lifting the knees off the mat. Downward facing dog or Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pause here. Count 5 full breaths. Pressing firmly into the fingertips. Sinking the heels towards the ground, stretching the backs of the legs. Checking in with the bandhas again, lifting the pelvic floor, quite slight squeeze in. Lower abdominals lifting. And then next inhale, gaze to the fingers, step or walk towards the top of the mat. Maybe you can take one step, then bring the left foot to meet the right. Exhale here. Halfway lift, inhale, gaze forward, shoulders back, and exhale, drawing the belly in, forward fold, Uttanasana. Press the floor away, rooted deeply to the ground, reach the fingertips to the sky. Inhale now, then exhale, arms come down by the sides, Tadasana or mountain pose, shoulders relaxed. Let's do that again. Inhale, Urdhva-hastasana. Exhale to your Uttanasana. Inhale, Adho Uttanasana. If you have the space, you can just place the fingertips. Exhale, place the palms, step the feet back, Kumbakasana. Inhale here, then exhale, drop the knees. The chest and the chin follows all on one exhale. Inhale. This time let's go high cobra. Straight arms, knees on the mat. Really press those shoulders back and the chest up. Gaze up. Exhale, straight to downward dog. Tucking the toes, lifting the butt. Exhale, sink the heels. Breathe. 5 breaths. Good. Gazing forward. Next inhale, step, jump or walk. Find the top of the mat. Exhale as the feet come together. Halfway lift as you inhale. Exhale to Uttanasana, forward fold. Press the floor away, come all the way up, reach the fingers to the sky. Exhale back, find your mountain pose. Last one. Inhale, repeat. Urdhva-hastasana. deeply rooted to earth, reaching to the sky as you exhale, bowing to Mother Earth. Forward fold. Halfway Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, placing the palms, step back, come through Kumbakasana, plank pose, feet hip width apart. Maybe if you have the strength, either carry on with knees, chest, chin, or follow me. As you inhale, bring the heels forward, and then as you exhale, bend the elbows. Come all the way through Chaturanga. Maybe hover here, untuck the toes. Then inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Knees are off the mat now. Exhale, downward facing dog. Ardha Mukha Svanasana. So now, doesn't the downward dog feel like a nice rest? Breathe. Nothing going on, just you and your breath. You, your body, and your breath. So from here now, we're going to come into our pigeon pose. I want you to lift the right leg, so keep the hips square. Just stay with the breath like so. Stay with the breath. Let's count 5 breaths. Sinking the heels down, keeping nice and balanced on the shoulders. The core's still engaged, breath still steady. Then gazing towards the fingers, you're going to bring the right knee to the right wrist. Place the right leg down, and as you do so, slide that left leg back. Okay, so I'm just going to pause here because some of you, in fact, I'll turn it around the other way so you can see. Some of you may need some support here. If you're very flexible, you'll be able to just come straight into the pigeon pose. But if you need, you can elevate that right buttock with the block. So, whatever feels good for you, you can shove a cushion under there, whatever is right for you. From here, I just want you to come onto your fingertips, or again, if you need, grab the blocks and just place the blocks and lift up. So you feel that deep arch in the back of the spine, base of the spine, and breathe. Gaze to the tip of the nose. And then from here, slowly start to collapse into the sleeping swan. So we're just going to walk the hands forward. Again, support yourself as much as you need. And eventually bringing the forehead onto the mat or placing onto the block. Now I'd like you to let go again. Notice the rhythm of your breath. Just allowing your breath to be. Relax those bandhas. Releasing the pelvic floor, softening the belly. And sort of start to think about how we were in the yin at the beginning of the practice. Just completely surrender into this pose. And as the time is passing, maybe you're starting to feel those sensations in that leg, in the right leg, in the right foot. Maybe you feel like butterflies or tingling. Whatever's going on for you is good. We won't stay here too long.
Let's just stay here for a few more breaths. Just allow yourself to be really heavy and just allow time and gravity to do the work for you. Your job is simply to observe.
Slowly as you like, lift the head, walk the hands back towards you, and then if you've got the block, lose the block, and I want you to lean onto your right buttock. As you do so, swing the left leg round and place the sole of the foot onto the mat. So now just readjust your buttocks, make sure both sit bones are on the ground. If this, what I'm doing here is totally impossible for you, then you can keep that right leg extended. We're just going to come into a little twist. If you can, bend the knee, but the main thing I want you to focus on is the left foot rooted to the mat. If that's not possible with the right knee bent, then extend it. All right, so now either you're just going to hug that left knee in towards you, or if you have the space, you can tuck the elbow on the outer edge of the left thigh. Take the left fingertips behind you, sort of just behind your sacrum, maybe the fingertips or the palm grabs the mat. Take a deep inhale, straighten the spine, and then as you exhale, you're going to turn to look over your left shoulder. You can leverage yourself by pressing the elbow into the knee and pulling yourself around, holding onto the mat with the left fingertips. Let's just take deep inhale here, straighten the spine, and exhale, twist deeper. Repeat. Good, and then on an inhale, let's come back to center. And then from here, I'd like you to, just 1 second, sorry. I'd like you to try and stack your knees. Now again, those track 1 students, you're going to keep the right leg extended out in front of you. If you have the knees bent, as much as possible, try to bring the knees on top of each other. If it doesn't feel comfortable, you can again place a block in between the knees. And then we're going to come forward into our shoelace pose. So either with the right leg extended or not. Just use an exhale to walk the hands away from you and then simply bring the forehead towards the ground. Just come to that edge, that first edge. Gently leaning into that discomfort. If you have the space, you can place the elbows, or another option is to place the forehead onto a block. Wherever you are, I just want you to soften completely. Just soften. Relax the body. Where you feel that tension is resistance. And this is the case with anything in life. We only experience suffering when we're resisting what is. You can come into complete acceptance, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it's painful, even if it doesn't feel good to you. You can. It is possible. Can you soften a little bit more, just a few more breaths? Now if you've got your right leg extended, you've got the added
hamstring stretch here as well. So I know it's really intense, but you know that it's just a sensation, and this sensation will pass. Maybe just taking it to that deepest point. Before escaping the pose, place the palms, lift your head up, come all the way up. And from here, I'd like you to cross the calves, or if you can't do it, that's fine. Just make your way back into a downward facing dog. So just placing the palms out forward, lift the butt, step the right leg back, then the left leg, find your downward facing dog. And here, maybe just walk it out. Should feel really nice and juicy. Just release all of that. And then let's go over the other side. Left leg lifts. We're just going to hold this here just for a few breaths. Sink the right heel, shoulders nice and relaxed, belly's drawn in. Engage that pelvic floor again just for a few breaths. Gazing towards your toes or your heel. And then on the next inhale, gaze to the fingers. Let's take the left knee to the left wrist. Place the left leg down. If you've never done the pigeon pose before, just so you know, the closer the heel is to the groin, the less intense it is. The more parallel the shin bone is to the top of your mat, the more intense it's going to be. So just take it to your level. Just look back, make sure that that right leg is in line with the edge of your mat so it's nice and straight. Both hips, shoulders, chest facing forwards. Now, either grabbing those blocks or fingertips on the mat. Let's just get that deep arch in the spine. Just find a gaze somewhere out in front of you. You can lift that chest, open that heart. And then as you exhale, let's walk the hands forward and release the head, either grabbing the blocks or cushions or coming onto the mat, whatever feels good for you. So notice if you're trying to take it to the deepest point, this is your ego that's saying that I need to push further. Okay, so with the yin aspect of this practice, it's not about pushing. When we're doing the sun salutations, we are in full control. Our breath is regulated, the movement is in line with the breath, so we move with the breath. This is called the vinyasa, the marriage of the breath and the movement. And then there's so many rules as to where your foot goes, where your arm goes, where you should look, where you should gaze, etc. In the yin, there is no rules at all, apart from to relax, to allow, to surrender. So if you find yourself pushing yourself to come deeper into the pose, then you're sort of practicing it yang. So allow yourself to soften and let the universe do the work for you. This amazing thing called gravity is pulling every part of your being closer to the center of the earth. There's nothing for you to do but to relax. And know that the earth is always holding you and supporting you. You cannot fall. You are always held. Just a few more breaths. Leaning into that discomfort.
knowing that it is just a sensation, this is just a moment in time, and this moment will pass. No matter how intense it gets, it always passes. And whatever you're going through in your life, too will pass. And if it feels uncomfortable to you, know that you are expanding. You're learning many lessons. There is no growth in ease. The most amount of growth happens in complete discomfort. It's not possible for the caterpillar to become a butterfly without discomfort, without going into the darkness. And you will come through it all to the other side.
Okay, I know it feels like we'd love to stay here, and if you have the time, you can always pause this and stay there for as long as you want. But otherwise, let's just start to lift ourselves up. And again, if you've got the block, release the block and come onto your left buttock. Take the right leg around your body. So placing the sole of the right foot onto the left side of the mat now. So finding that twist again. If you need, extend, keeping that left leg extended. Otherwise bent. And then we're going to go over to the right side. So either just hugging that knee in towards you or tucking the elbow. Inhale, lift the spine, and exhale, turn to look over the right shoulder. Inhale, lift, and exhale, twist deeper. Really think about bringing the navel to the side of your mat. Inhale, then exhale. Next inhale, we'll come back to center and come and find the shoelace, so stacking the knees. And then exhale, folding over the knees, either with the left leg extended or bent. Just come to that first edge and soften into it, lean into it. Do you feel that intensity? Do you feel that tightness? Do you feel that tenderness? Can you lean deeper into it? And maybe you can connect with your body here. Whatever discomfort you're experiencing is a message for you. You can simply ask, what is it that I'm not seeing? What is it that I am not listening to? What am I not hearing? Allow whatever to arise. Just a few more breaths. And again, if you have the time, you can stay here. Otherwise, we're going to find our way back up. And before we finish, let's just come into a reverse tabletop. So feet hip width apart, palms behind you, sort of just behind your hips, fingers facing towards your heels. Then on an inhale, you're going to lift the butt up, press the knees away from you as you exhale, and think about balancing something on your belly there.
if it feels good to you, you can drop the head completely.
Or option to keep looking down your chest if that evokes too much fear for you. So those of you who have closed hearts will feel a lot of fear in this pose. It's a heart opener. And I remember when I first practiced camel pose, that's a deep heart opener. I had so much fear because the ego is just trying to keep me with my closed heart away from anything unknown that could possibly harm me. But really, we know now that the more we open our hearts, the more love, the more joy we experience, and the more connected to all that exists. So slowly let's come out of that pose, and now's your chance to grab any blankets or socks or warm clothes if you're in the northern hemisphere and it's got cold. And then we're going to find our way into our Shavasana. So just start to extend your legs. Take the feet wider than the hips, so maybe as wide as your mat. Get nice and comfortable, as we will be here for a few minutes. Take the arms out by your sides. Tuck the shoulder blades in and under. Check you're nice and comfortable. Palms flick up to the sky. And let's just finish with 3 cleansing breaths. Deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, part the lips, breathe it out through the mouth. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, release. One more time, breathe deeply in through the nose. Allowing that breath to expand into your belly, just pausing here before you exhale, release. Just observing this complete emptiness. Release your body now. Release the breath if it's not already. Allowing it to come back to its natural, shallow breathing. No more forcing, no more trying. Eyes are softly shut, cheekbones and jaw relaxing. Allow the eyeballs to roll back into their sockets. Place your awareness on the third eye. Let go of everything else apart from the connection to your third eye. Gently now. Guide that breath back into your body. Take a few deep breaths into your belly. Bringing soft, subtle movements into your fingers, into your toes. Interlace the fingers and stretch the arms, the palms away from your body, up overhead. Maybe bringing the heels together, stretch through the toes, stretch through the heels. On an exhalation, let's bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a big hug. Remember you are love. Remember you are love. And you are supported by the whole universe. And rolling onto one side now, coming to find a fetal pose. Maybe bending into the elbow, and you can place your head onto the palm, just making a little pillow. Still connected to your third eye center, eyes still closed, vision still turning inward. Slowly as you like, keeping the eyes as closed as possible. Let's find ourselves, or lift ourselves up to a comfortable seat, finding your Sukhasana or easy pose. Placing the palms onto the thighs or the knees. Relax the shoulders. Feel deeply rooted to earth. Bringing the awareness to the crown of your head. Connected to Source. Let's bring the palms together in the heart center in Anjali Mudra or prayer. And just take a moment to cultivate a field of gratitude around you. Simply bring to mind all that you have to be grateful for in this moment. Begin with yourself, your breath, your strong, healthy, flexible body. Your family, your friends, the community that supports you. Maybe taking it wider into the environment, Mother Earth that nourishes you and gives without condition. For all your guides, your supporters, our ancestors that went through every single little thing that they went through so you could be here today. The ancient yogis, through generations, for thousands of years, passed down this knowledge so you could practice here in this form today. Immense gratitude for you. For giving yourself this time, for pushing past all the fears that stopped you, that tried to stop you from getting on the mat today. For your strength, for your perseverance, for your determination to keep walking this path. Feel into your heart now. Can you feel that gratitude, that joy? And now let's dedicate this practice to something greater than ourselves, someone, something, maybe a group of people or things, whatever comes up for you. Bringing this thing or person to mind. Let's take a deep breath into the heart center. As you exhale, imagine you're sending them this light. Enveloping them with loving gratitude and kindness. Now bowing your head to the heart center. Namaste. When you're ready to, let's release those palms back to the thighs and gently start to blink the eyes open, coming back to your room. Thank you everyone for practicing with me today, and thank you for being you. See you soon.